I'm trying to pour this water bottle into another water bottle, so I only have one water bottle instead of having
Why didn't
two
you just
water
drink
bottles.
the rest of the water in one of them and save the rest for later?
Because I don't want it right now. My mouth is nice and wet. I don't need more water.
Check.
This is going to sound awful.
Cash is preferred.
What? Oh, check.
That's his catchphrase.
Okay.
We're not doing catchphrases.
We're
We
not
already
doing
did
catchphrases.
those.
We already have
That was
them
last
now.
week.
I don't have mine, so I'm with you, Rich.
It's been one whole week, and you forgot to get a catchphrase?
It's my favorite thing to do to you guys is to just bring something to the table as soon as we sit down. Like, oh, by the way, come up with a catchphrase on the fly. Bye. And then press record.
You've never done that.
Every time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm sitting this one out.
I like catching.
So
Beans.
I'll be here in spirit.
Let's talk about
spirits.
spirits.
So you can actually, yeah, let's talk about spirits.
Talk
This
about
episode,
spirits.
welcome to the Spirit Corner.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm not sitting this one out.
Okay,
wanna
see,
get in
I
on
knew
this.
I could drag you back in with that one.
You know, I think that could be a good one. I think that could be a good one. The Spirit Corner.
Oh no. Is this where we bring back dead
Oh,
like
no.
celebrities and things
Oh.
like that as
Spirit
guests?
world.
Find out next time on The Spirit Corner. Doodle-dee, doodle-dee.
Read it.
They're ghosts!
Yeah.
Right.
So we're talking about ghosts this time? Is that what we just
No.
decided?
No, we just did the soft open.
Shit.
Hey everybody, I'm Dan Holland, and a lot of times my favorite color is gray. I don't think that's healthy.
I'm Austin Shazam Pfeiffer, and when I write in my handy-dandy notebook, I oftentimes forget how to read.
I'm Marcus Whitaker, and I'm often bored.
You look really bored right now.
He looks terrifyingly
This
bored.
is not a good look for us, but
I'm
fortunately...
not bored.
Nobody else could see that.
I'm often bored.
Often. Not particularly
Often.
right now.
What? No.
I ruined the flow. Okay.
He said often. And
What?
You thought you said Austin.
Shut up. Who are you?
Me? Mm-hmm. I am also Marcus Whitaker.
Well, we successfully cloned you over the past week, so it's good to have
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
It's good to have you both back.
Dude.
Thanks, Rooster. This is the podcast titled Nerd It Through the Grapevine. It's where four best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. I love how smoothly I say that. I say nothing else smoothly. I don't even remember our Twitter handle, and yet I can rattle that off.
I'm
Color
more
me
impressed.
with myself. Jinx, you got to sit this one out, bud. Shit. Who's going?
Just gonna dive. We just gonna dive right into it, here.
Who's? I don't care who goes first.
Let's flip a coin.
You know, I'm just gonna
It's
go
tails.
ahead
What did
and
you
let you
call it?
know
What'd you call?
the Spirit Corner. That's what I called.
So
So
you finished the thought? Was there an end to the thought?
That was the climax. That was it.
I'm going to go ahead and start us off here because shut your mouths.
Oh, no.
Sorry, it brings back dark memories.
I'm across the room now, so I don't get picked up by the microphones. They can't hear me because I'm across the room. So you go ahead and talk. Just say whatever you want. There's going to be a long, empty gap right here because I'm across the room and no one else is talking. So there's just going to be silence. And then because I'm so far away and you can't hear me. So go ahead and say what you're saying.
The Spirit Corner, brought to you by me. He is really talking. Nobody can hear him. I used to go on paranormal investigations, and Dane is aware of a
Are
majority
you
of my
talking about me
stories.
because I'm across the room and they can't hear me if I want to respond?
Welcome back.
I missed you guys. I was way across the room. None of you could hear
I
me.
couldn't
talk.
smell you
virtual room.
anymore. Like fresh lavender and posies.
I love it.
I just put on deodorant.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, I used to go on paranormal investigations. Has anybody ever seen anything about these things? Like movies about it, shows about it? Dane probably hasn't seen real things about it because he doesn't like spookies.
I don't like to be spooked. I don't like to be scared. I don't like to be startled. Because... Wait, spooks. Yeah. Nailed it. We're nailing it.
Alliteration.
Alliteration.
It's all three antonyms.
That's when you go to a family reunion. You're introducing everybody. Be like, yeah, that's Uncle John. That's cousin Ed, and that's Aunt and them. So there. Yep. Mm-hmm. It was a family joke.
That's precisely correct. That's exactly
I
what
don't
happens.
like scary things because I have the fight or flight, the natural thing, and it's fight, and I don't like that feeling of there is immediate danger and I have to do something about it because I just like to be calm and relaxed at all times, if at all possible, and to sit down for an hour and a half to intentionally make myself scared. I don't know, the endorphins just aren't there for me when it comes to that. Like I don't enjoy it. But I do love hearing you talk about all the scary things that you've been a part of.
For those that are into anything like paranormal investigations, it's more or less just kind of dipping your toe into the curiosities of a afterlife, of those existing after they've perished. And it, honestly, you get into it and it's kind of a scientific adventure, just because you want to know, if there is proof of something like this happening, I'd love to know. At some points, it gets a little bit overwhelming. And some points, it's very underwhelming. I've went a lot of different places. Went to old slave mansions. I've went to abandoned prisons. I've went to old sanatoriums. I've been to haunted plantations in the South. Forget what it's called, the Myrtle Plantation in New Orleans. I've been all over these different places. The one trip I had to miss out on with this group that I used to go around, we called ourselves CPP.
So catchy.
CPP, Cumberland Plateau Paranormal. We actually were offered to be on a reality show.
And you said no thank you?
No, I said, why am I not on a reality show? And then the guy that pretty much the guy that funded everything, and he had some money, and he had just a real passion for it, and he didn't want to be known in our small town for doing something like that. He wanted to keep that under wraps, that he did stuff like that, because you're living in a small town like Sparta, Tennessee, you're gonna have some rumors flying that you are worshiping the devil. Burn his house down. He's a worshiping the devil.
Who's this person?
I'm not saying his name.
I thought I could get him.
No,
I thought I could get
You
him.
had him trapped.
No.
You
Yeah.
weren't
No,
saying
but
about it.
Baited him in.
but anyway, Hunter was.
You did it! You said his name!
Oh Lord!
It worked!
Oh Lord!
I did it.
The rooster.
I roostered him.
Do I need to beep it out?
No, don't bleep it, because some people consider the dark side of the Force to be unnatural.
Continue.
But we'd go all over the place, and there was a reality competition show to where all these different ghost hunter groups got together and would go and see who did the best setups and had the most entertaining kind of thing that they would do while they were together. And I think he saved me some embarrassment, quite honestly, just because watching that, it was put on by the Ghost Adventures people. In case nobody's ever watched Ghost Adventures, it's the real roided up dude that's got the super spiky hair that loves to yell at something until he hears the sound of a cricket, and then he runs and sends his best friend Aaron in there to check it out.
You just described Guy Fieri to
That's
the
what I
T,
was thinking.
So, and I don't
I'm lost.
think
He does
diners,
food.
drive-ins, and the devil.
And dives.
That would be
Diners, drive-ins,
TV
the
show.
devil, and dives.
I imagine this reality show of this competition of a paranormal investigation of be like at the end, all right, Johns, bring them out. Who caught the longest one?
That's
Yeah.
who's got the longest
I got
video.
a tall ghost in me.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's exactly how it
okay,
happened.
I'm glad.
You didn't even watch it. You don't like spooky stuff. How'd you know?
I don't know. The ideas actually scare me a little much. This whole topic is a little spooky for me. I'm glad.
I love it.
Glad we're
This is
talking
awesome.
in the daytime.
No, I
But
love it, too.
I've done all sorts of crazy things, though. I
Yep.
mean, I've done isolation in several different places. The isolation is where you do recordings of either audio or visual. I got bad on the visual.
That's-
I'll reverse
No.
it for you.
audio. audio and visual recordings. And why'd you skirt?
To him, that's the sound that I guess a VHS makes whenever it stops before it plays.
I just wanted him to know he could go.
Maybe that's the sound the lightsaber makes when you turn it off.
Skirt.
Can we talk about Force Ghosts after this? Yes.
Anyway, I did isolation in several different places. That basically what that does is it's more likely that you're not going to be the thing causing the noise. You're more self-aware of what the things going around you are doing. It's not going to be somebody else's breathing, not going to be somebody else popping their knuckles or doing anything else like that. It's going to be just you, and if there's anything there, you'll catch it. I did isolation in the Ohio State Reformatory in their solitary confinement. That was where they actually filmed parts of the Shawshank Redemption, and it was pretty cool. Didn't hear anything, experience anything while I was there, and we had several things on recording that would have just been scary as heck to hear at the same time, like the sounds of like a waiter tray full of glass plates being dropped. You know how loud that is. A majority of you have worked in the restaurant industry. Wait, every one of you.
All of us, yeah.
All of us.
All of us have worked together.
So the sound that it makes
same
when you
time.
drop a tray of plates, how loud that is, I didn't hear it.
It's so satisfying when it's not you doing it. Like, you've got that little feeling of, I feel bad for him, but that's immediately taken over by...
Man.
Yes! Chaos! And then you ask your table if they want more, I don't know, Coke or something like that. But it's a lot of fun.
I have a hilarious glass dropping story about a guy at work.
Make me laugh.
I don't want to use his name.
Was it
He
me?
was trying... No.
Oh, it was Zach.
No.
Yeah, it was Zach.
The dude, he quit right after it.
Oh.
He tried. There
Sorry,
was a
Zach.
girl there he was trying to impress, and he threw a glass up
Shut
and
up.
tried to catch it behind his back in front of the food and the where you get ice and everything for drinks. And of course, it lands and it shatters, and it's like a Friday night, and we had to throw everything away because we didn't like everything. It put us back like an hour.
Shattered glass
And he
in
just-
the coleslaw, in the salad, or in the salad mix, in the salsa.
The manager was like walking out of the office when he did it and just like dropped his jaw and stared at him. It was just like, what have you done?
You're gonna have to leave.
And
You're fired.
He just said he quit and just walked out. It's like, well,
There's no bouncing back from that.
no.
There's no coming back from
You're
it.
done. You're over with.
Yeah.
Sorry. Once you
Continue.
talk about serving stories, it's gonna
Oh, no.
take
Let's
over
go
the
for it.
entire
Oh no!
rest of the time.
I'm telling you, just spiritual stuff and ghost stuff, or working in the restaurant business, they're things that'll haunt you.
This is true.
Like looking at the clock and it being 9:55 when you close at 10, and then you see people walk through the front door.
We just made it.
We just made it. I'd like a well done steak with ketchup, please.
But wearing a mask while serving is so much better because I can sit there and mouth whatever I want to under that thing.
I do it often.
And it makes you feel better. Just like you're not saying anything. They can't see you
You
saying
become a really
something.
good actor with your eyes.
Oh,
you know.
yeah. Give them that smize. But be cursing them in every way you can possibly do
Yeah.
under this mask.
Yeah. I did isolation in the morgue of Waverly Hills Sanatorium. It was where the most deaths of the tuberculosis virus took place in the United States.
I get claustrophobic putting the blanket on the bed like over my head and all of me being under it for too long. I could not imagine being put on a slab and pushed into a wall.
How
It
do
was
you
pretty
get-
pretty awesome.
Do you pay for that or
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah,
I've never done
basically
anything
what
like
they
that.
do is-
A part of your
Isolation
soul.
before.
You have to remove part of it like whenever you leave.
Yes, but
Devil worship.
then I do side quests, and go on church trips, and then it replenishes part of my soul
Yeah, you
that I
get
can go
soul-
use later on.
Your
again.
soul meter, like it
yeah,
completes again.
yeah,
so.
it's my karma meter.
How
and
much money does that cost you?
What, to go on the church trips?
Yeah.
It costs you nothing to go there and have a great time for the best week of your life. So, anyway, it was The morgue incident was pretty epic on the recordings because a lot of the things is like it's putting yourself into that fight or flight. Like if you don't have a strong fight or flight in the first place, you have to do things to try to encourage it because that also increases your senses. It makes you more aware of things that are going on around you. So it's better for you to perceive anything that's happening that's like minute. So I was hearing people walking around all around me.
I feel like I'd be bored.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Bored?
Yeah.
In a haunted house, in a real haunted
Oh yeah.
house? you'd
Oh
be
yeah. It's
bored?
boring. There are several
I feel like you
times.
just pay the money to go be bored in a morgue.
Yeah. Yeah. There are.
He's like, no, that's essentially what it
No,
was.
there was a lot of that. I mean, seriously. I mean, if you get everything condensed from a like 8-hour investigation into what we found that is minutely possible, you'll get like 25, 30 minutes at the most of anything that's. But at the same time, some of the stuff that you get is kind of like, oh, okay. Well, that's given that validity for me. It's just one of those things.
What
like
is that?
I've had several personal experiences, but
Well, that's what we should get
I've
into.
Seen
He's-
the full-bodied apparition. I saw that at the Ohio State Reformatory. I was walking the cell block, and the cell blocks are actually recreated digitally on the Shawshank Redemption. You know how they're. Has everybody seen the Shawshank Redemption? Okay.
Yes, I've seen
No,
it.
just making
Okay,
sure.
I just know it's a
been a-
movie.
it's been a minute.
It's a movie, and it's more than 15 minutes long. So I don't know if you've taken the time.
I've definitely taken the
Okay,
time.
so what happens is they've taken it and they've got the cell blocks facing each other. One side of the cell block is actually the cell block from the Ohio State Reformatory, and then the other side of the cell block is just a rendering of it. So it looks like they're in this humongous, double-sided thing, but it's actually just that. It's still huge. I mean, it's ridiculous how much size is in there. It's like 5 stories tall, and it's all connected by just this giant cage on the outside of it where the wardens can walk on the ground floor and just have the view of the entire thing. Anyway, walking along that in the middle of the night, and the only kind of light that I have is relying on my night vision and my moonlight coming through the windows because I like to go without flashlights. I would let my eyes adjust to where I could see better in the dark.
For sure.
No, not for sure. No.
Yeah,
No,
you
the
have
answer
to.
is no.
You have to.
Sure.
The answer's no to the
I mean,
question that wasn't asked.
if you're gonna go all in,
But I thought that I saw Hunter, the guy that I'm not supposed to name his name. I saw him walking, and I was like, "Hey, man, wait up! I'll come with you." And I saw him walk up these stairs, and I get to the stairs to walk up them, and they're all rusted through, and there's no way that the stairs could hold body weight of any kind because they don't exist. And I had just seen what I thought in the dark looked like him walk up those stairs. It was not nothing. No. That was a cool one.
How much? I'm wondering how much like paranoia and adrenaline do to the senses.
That's
like
yeah.
like being in isolation. Like you hear things that aren't there because being in like pure silence and alone and in the dark, like your brain starts. I don't know. It's almost like daydreaming to where you're creating these visual like images and sounds.
Well, and that's why it's so good that we've got all the recording devices
Yeah.
with us that we do. Because I mean, we have audio recording, we have digital wavelength recording that's going to be pretty much registering what the natural like background noise is. We carry those meters with us, so we'll be able to keep track of what the natural noise level is in the building. Temperature meters, motion detectors. So much stuff. Our cameras were not light sources that we could see with the naked eye. It was only infrared and ultraviolet floodlights that we had on the sides of the cameras. So if you wanted to see anything, it was either you let your eyes adjust or you're looking through this camera about, maybe about...
The thought of doing that in our own basement in the house makes my heart rate just go way too high. Like I don't.
So they do let you bring in stuff.
Oh yeah, everything. Like we were legit with it. It was
Good.
so
Then
Maybe
fun.
I wouldn't
With
be
it, then?
bored. Maybe
Yeah.
I wouldn't be so bored because I could bring my magical ritualistic items.
your magic cards.
Well, I could
wouldn't be
guarantee
too
you contact.
tarot
I
cards.
know how to ramble up them demons, man.
There's actually a place in my hometown of Sparta that was supposedly haunted, and everybody talked about it. It's called the Big House. And it's you're not supposed to go there.
it's just the only 2-story house in Sparta.
That's what I was.
But it's been supposedly haunted for all these years, and we got permission. I used to be a sheriff's deputy, and when I was on the force, we got permission from the property owner to be able to actually go there and do a real investigation. So we went, and set up everything and did everything. So active. It was so active. It was one of the only times that I've ever been able to use what they call the spirit box, which it takes 2 radio stations per second, and it shuffles through them. And supposedly through the white noise of the radio stations, you're able to pick up words and sounds. And if they're together and running along, in the same tone, same variety, it's real freaky, real freaky. But we had full length conversations in that area, in that house, with a little girl, and then it
Recorded?
was, yeah.
You brought a little girl into the big house in Sparta?
No, it was a spirit's voice of a little girl.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
That makes more sense because I know that would be very shocking. I wouldn't like that.
No, I don't. I'm not just going to take girls into dark places.
Don't take me into the dark places either.
You don't like spookies.
I don't like spookies. How
You like Cinny in your Muffy?
I like Cinny in my Muffy.
You don't like spookies.
Don't like spookies.
Yeah, but
Spookies are good.
But it's been an experience. But I think the best thing about the entire experience were the people that I was with the whole time, because it got to the point to where I did see so much that I got like going to the zoo. You go to the zoo and you go to the monkey exhibit and all the monkeys aren't out.
It's all just a monkey exhibit, man. Like really, anywhere you go around here, it's all just you can just watch them. We're all just one big monkey
Evolution
experiment, man.
But the adventure was the road trip. We've driven everywhere, all the way up to upstate New York, to right next to Niagara Falls, to an abandoned insane asylum, and did research there. And we did that all in a van, just hanging out, broing out, talking, and it was those were some fun times. We had our own character names too, because I was in the car.
Yeah, that's naturally going to happen.
So I gave us all character names. You had Hunter, he is the wizard. Samson was the elfin king. If you knew Samson, he's very pointy.
Like the elbow pointy.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. He's
got pointy
very,
nose.
he's very pointy, and he has elf-like features. He's and he's fast and he's skinny. So he's the elfin king, and then I'm the warrior, and we would have epic adventures inspired by the music of Ronnie James Dio.
who dat?
Legendary.
Who is this?
Well, Marcus has blood on
Ronnie
his shirt,
James Dio.
so Marcus can tell you about Ronnie James Dio.
Who?
He's a metal singer.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I should have
A
known who that
legendary
was.
metal singer.
Sings,
Oh, okay.
Smoke on the Water.
But yeah,
Good.
that's pretty much what mine was about with the Spooky Corner, because I've done that. There are a lot of people out there that do that and enjoy watching people that do that.
I would enjoy doing that, I think.
I've tried to see, like I've went on some places and I've tried to see like crazy stuff or hear stuff, but I've never heard anything.
Yeah, you need.
I've
the
went to a
equipment.
bunch of different places. But I mean, I don't even hear like, like the glass breaking or people walking or doors shutting. Like I don't hear.
Oh, with like your ears?
Yeah.
No. Okay. I never heard any of that with my ears. A lot of times, like the only time, that's the thing that freaked me out the most about the glass shattering was I didn't hear that.
That would scare me more to hear it afterwards, to be
But
like,
see-
all this stuff was happening, but I didn't know
Can
it.
we-
Because
I've
if
had
it happens then, you can just run away.
This is a throwback to an earlier topic. But what if that's actually just a parallel universe
That's my thought.
where
I've thought that a lot of times too.
Glass didn't break right here in front of you, so it had to break somewhere.
Yeah.
And you're just
That's
every now and
my-
then catching the glimpse of crazy things that are
Where's it-
happening
yeah.
right now in a different area.
Yeah.
Maybe that girl
That's-
was at that house in a different place.
Yeah.
And you're talking to her and she's freaked
That's
out.
my thought of spirits and
and
ghosts
you're
and things
the
like
demon in her eyes and her world.
That was like the movie with Nicole Kidman called The Others.
that. Yeah.
What'd she call him?
Spoiler.
Anyway, that's
other
another
ones.
deep cut.
Like,
for
not
you.
these ones. They're the other ones. Not these ones is the prequel.
No, not the others.
The prequel to the others is not these ones. So, I don't know if you guys have seen that one or not.
No, I haven't.
It's
I've seen
it's
none of
definitely a real movie.
them. None of them.
Me
Okay,
neither.
let's get out of the what we
spookies?
call it, the spooky corner, the ghost corner, the spirit corner,
The Spirit Corner.
the spirit corner. Let's get out of there. I'm a little scared, and it's already hot in this room.
I'm getting shaky.
So I'm getting shaky. I got the shakes over here. I'm going to spend 15 minutes talking about fountain pens. You guys cool with that?
Go for it.
Have
Done.
at it.
Yeah, everybody's cool with it.
Go.
Let you take a
No, I'll
swipe at
just
it.
take a little bit.
Because
of
I
time.
don't know
Did you
anything.
know one of the first recorded like images of a fountain pen are from Leonardo da Vinci's like drawings? And yeah, he's got like a cross section to where he drew out because he was tired of using a dip pen, like a feather pen or something like that. He wanted something that he wouldn't have to keep going and dipping and then keep writing with, because the man has books upon books of drawings and designs and things. So he designed one, and then there's no evidence of an actual one existing. Like no one's found a fountain pen that old or of his, but his writings in his books from that time on were more consistent. And like, because when you write with a dip pen, it starts to fade before you put more ink on it. So yeah, after these drawings of a fountain pen, afterwards you see like a more consistent ink flow from the pen, whatever pen he was using. So like it's thought that like, okay, he drew this thing out and then he made it and then it worked. Like, and for anyone who doesn't know what a fountain pen is, it's a really customizable old school writing utensil that there's different nibs for the end of it, so you can completely customize the way it writes, the line width, how much ink comes out of it. And then you can do custom inks with it and just keep filling it up with different ink, the same pen with different ink every time. It makes the writing experience like mean something more because you're putting in more effort to it using this. Like, I don't know, it's almost like seen as a status symbol now just because they're so uncommon to be used. I got into it because my favorite author, Neil Gaiman, was like, he uses a fountain pen and he loves them, and he's an ambassador for like fountain pens, because if you are writing and you put more care and thought into even how you're doing that, like physically through the utensils, you'll start to appreciate what you're doing more than just grabbing a Bic and, you know, just jotting stuff down like that. Which, I mean, you can totally do it. For a lot of people, like fountain pens are too much work. But for me, it keeps me interested in writing because I love to write and I would love to make money doing that at one point. But not until I took myself serious enough to get into this whole fountain pen thing. Like, I don't, it's just one obsession after another for me. And I was like, ooh, this one has to do with something I could do as a profession at some point. So why not find a hobby inside of something I want to do as a career at some point?
Right.
So I thought it was a smart move. And then I started buying them. They're very expensive, but they also can be very cheap. You can even get it's a Chinese brand called Jinhao. They make fountain pens that are like free and just pay shipping. Like you can get them off of Wish, and they're surprisingly good. They're shaped like a little shark. Like the roll stop of the cap of the pen is the fin of the shark, and the cap is a little shark head. I don't know. They're really cool, but they write great, and they're basically free. So it's not expensive to get into, but once you start spending money on it, if you would have told me 3 years ago that I would spend $80 on a pen, I would tell you you're insane and you don't know who I am. But now, like, if I see one for $80, it's like, that's actually not that bad of a deal. I think I may snag that.
I'm about to steal it from
Because
him.
the writing difference with a fountain pen compared to any other pen, it's like being able to write on glass. Like it just slides across the paper. There's very little pressure you have to put on it, depending on what like nib you're using on the end of it. But I mean, we've all been writing for so long, and to discover a different way to do that, I think is the part that I got really excited about, because like I said, I just love to write, and here's this whole new way to do it.
It's almost more like a painter.
Yeah,
Like
you're
Da Vinci.
painting the words. Exactly.
Do you think Da Vinci actually made one of them things?
Probably.
He probably
He
did.
had
I
to
think
make
he did.
something.
Okay. He is like one of the only convincing examples of like possible time travel that's already happened.
Because of the insane inventions he's come up with.
Yeah. So
Like,
somehow your fountain pen got us back to the alternate reality.
everything does.
Exactly.
Everything
But
comes
continue.
back to it.
Yep.
In the just a little bit of history on it. In the 40s and 50s, ballpoint pens were invented, but they were expensive and they leaked, and they just weren't a good design yet. So fountain pens still were the most common way of writing for everyone. But then in the 60s, they found a way to kind of perfect the ballpoint pen and make it super cheap and easy, and no one had to deal with refilling with ink and things like that, because you could just get cartridges for your ballpoint pen. So fountain pens really fell off the map. And that's when it became more of like a luxury thing now, because it's kind of old school. Other countries have students like whenever they're really young in school, in their writing classes, they actually have them use a fountain pen to add like more care to what they're writing, because they can't just slam the pen down on the paper and start writing with it. Like they have to be thoughtful in the way they're holding the pen and applying the pressure to the page, and it just adds a whole nother level to putting words on paper, because it's more of an experience, I think.
Would you compare it to like a vinyl record over like a CD?
I think
where it's
I
like
would.
you care more?
I would, yeah. Because
you're going to
it's-
purchase it because
and-
you actually like it, not
Yeah.
because it's just something to listen to.
Exactly, and that's something I was wanting to ask after this was, like, what other hobbies or things that you do would you spend a little bit more money on something unnecessary, but to make it more enjoyable? And I think that's a perfect example of vinyl records, because like to most people's ears, you can't really tell a difference when you're listening to a vinyl and a CD. But once you own one, you can tell all the
just
difference in
become
the world.
obsessed.
And I don't
Yeah.
know how much of that is actually legitimate or a placebo effect of
No, I think
just
it's definitely legitimate.
like, and a vinyl record amazes me so much more than an MP3, because ones and zeros make sense to me. Like you put them in a certain order and you get information out of it. Yeah, that makes sense. Digital age, yes. Putting like lines, like engraving lines into a flat piece of vinyl and then applying a metal tip to it makes music and makes it surround sound, and you can go from left to right speaker with a vinyl. It blows my freaking mind, even if you explained it to me perfectly. Like fax machines, I have this weird fascination with fax machines.
It's the deep magic.
It is the deep magics. And even if it can be explained, it's still not really fully explained.
Beautiful.
But yeah, I want a fax machine in my car. How cool would that be to get a fax?
Man,
while you're
right in your
driving?
car.
I feel like they just missed an opportunity there, and now fax machines are going.
As long
to
as
the
it
wayside.
wasn't like as long as it wasn't LaserJet and you got an original inkjet fax machine,
Oh yeah, yeah. Of
Just so-
course. What kind of peon am I?
just because nothing would be more satisfying than driving down the road listening to a podcast in the backseat of your car. You hear just
Here it comes. Yeah,
Wonder
no,
what this is.
Wouldn't be on my cell phone, so I wouldn't get pulled over. I could just read my facts.
Richard
Plus,
and his lightsaber.
with these more analog devices that we used to use that we don't use anymore, maybe the spirits are not able to be captured as well on the digital. But we got to go back to analog to be able to communicate with the spirits.
Your
But if
thoughts,
they're-
Spirit
okay.
Hunter Man?
My thoughts are, I've never recorded spirits on vinyl. How can I do that?
Like you sure you could. Yeah,
Scribble.
right.
You guys scribble some lines on it.
Yeah, you just,
Duh.
You just got to get a record pressed, is all.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That'd be cheap.
Why don't you just have
Not really.
$20 right now, and I can
I'm
do it
not
for you.
telling tales out of school, but there's a man who'll pay you $5 to sing into his can.
So, have any of you used a fountain pen
No.
before? No?
I think I have when I was 18. I think somebody bought me one when I was 18.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you're a man now, right? Like
Yeah,
one
when I
kinda
graduated.
gift? Okay.
Yeah, it was my
Gotcha.
brother-in-law, I believe, actually.
That's nice. That's a good gift.
It was
You-
like a $200 pen set. It had a really nice like pen you could refill the ink, and then
Yeah.
I think it had a fountain pen also with it. I can't
That's what you do
remember
with those
exactly,
two.
but
and you lost it. It's just gone. That sucks. I would like to have it.
I once drew boobs on a stick figure with a fountain pen.
Yeah, you
What?
did. Yeah.
That was in
Well,
your
he has-
notepad.
He has access to my pens, so yeah.
was it just a
It was a
stranger?
great test.
It was whenever he was in his big writing phase, and he left one sitting on the table, and he left it sitting next to an open page, and it just had like a little doodle of a person there, and I was just like, they need boobs.
Do you know how many fountain pen stores and licensed fountain pen sellers and things like that are in Tennessee?
Not a clue.
14.
I'm going to say it's a small number though.
It's
my guess
not a
is-
number. Well, it is a number, but it's lacking of
It's
a
the
positive
absence
number.
of a
Yeah,
number.
it's a desert in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Like there are no, like I've searched and searched and searched for like a stationery store or something like that sells like a lot of fountain pen inks and different fountain pens and things like that. So,
Why, they all move around or something?
I was going to say,
I tried not to laugh, but it was good.
You're funny. You're a funny man. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you have a microphone.
It was just like your keyboard that you.
What are you talking about?
I don't know, man.
You had a keyboard that you were selling at a store, and then the store just picks up and leaves.
Okay.
I knew exactly what he was talking about.
Story time. I bought a stage piano keyboard, like a really nice keyboard. Found a good deal on it. And I had it for a long time. And as with many things that I do, I get way into something and then decide, don't want to do that anymore. I'm bored. Let's do the next thing. So I took it to a place called Mountain Music where they were going to sell it at consignment for me because I was like, I don't want to deal with this. You do it for me. Because there was one key in it that was messed up and they were going to fix that. And I was like, well, fix it, put it for sale, and then whatever it sells for, I'll pay for the fixing of that key through that payment. And I called them about 3 months later and I was like, hey, did you sell my thing yet? And they're like, no, we'll call you when we sell it. I said, cool beans, man. Hung up the phone, and a year later, they don't have a business anymore and they stole my keyboard. Never called me, never did anything. I don't know where it is, but I want to find them.
So if you're listening,
yeah, I will find you. I don't have a particularly strong set of skills, but I can be very upset and in person and make it very awkward.
But the funny part about all of this,
times a day.
the funny part about all of this is that you didn't know that they didn't have a business anymore until he said it.
Yeah. I had no clue. I was like, man, it's been a long time since they called.
What's it mean?
I hated that.
What was that?
What was it?
A phone.
Oh, that's not a thing you throw.
I didn't.
You don't
You
need to
threw
throw your
it. You
phone.
picked it up
threw it.
and you threw it across the room.
He spiked it like a football.
It went by my ear.
It's not a football. It's not a frisbee. It just starts with the same sound. Phone.
Vroom. Oh, I thought you.
Anyway, what was even happening? I don't know.
What was
Hey, just for the record, I really think fountain pens look really cool.
They
Especially
do.
when you write with them. I can tell a difference.
Oh yeah, you know who he got that keyboard from?
Oh yeah,
The-
a famous person.
The lead singer of a band called Great White.
Yeah, I don't know who it was, but he was a real cool dude.
Tom
But
DeLonge?
apparently, it's a band that was. Yeah, it's basically the same person.
They had a famous song in the '80s that a lot of people know. Oh my, I'm once bitten, twice shy, baby.
I thought you were gonna say my Miss American Pie.
That's what I
was
thought.
like, it was them.
That's what I thought.
I have that keyboard somewhere
No.
in someone else's house that stole from me.
Yeah.
They owe me
Like,
$500.
that's why they stole it.
That
Just
was
because
gonna-
it belongs in a museum.
They were going to sell it for
That's why.
$500.
They knew. You fell a victim to them.
You know, technically, if they were trying to sell it for $500 and that's what they valued it at for the retail
That's a
price
felony.
of it, that's a felony theft because $500
But
plus.
what if that one key cost $500 to fix? You didn't think about that.
No, I didn't. That's a loophole.
You did not think about
because
that.
there is no set standard industry pricing
Correct.
for fixing that key.
See, this is why I haven't
You
gone
got
to court.
roostered.
You did.
By
Just
them.
know there's an alternate timeline where you're playing your keyboard at home.
No,
Right
if he
now.
had
Really
it back,
good.
he would have still not sold it. It would just be in the basement collecting
Yeah,
dust.
they really would have. I've got a MIDI keyboard now. It's tiny. Look over there. Can everybody see that?
How cute.
Look at it. It's tiny. That's the one I have now. And I'm not going to give it to a freaking music store anymore because I don't trust any of them.
I'll sell it for you.
I could go to Guitar Center with something for them to sell for me. I almost knocked over my fudge. And, yeah, it's sugar-free fudge.
What?
And Guitar Center would close down before they even sold what I can do. Like, it's not fair. It's fudge. There's only a little bit left.
Oh.
I've eaten a lot of it.
It stains fudge, Dan.
All right, I could talk about fountain pens more, but I don't want to. I'm tired of talking now.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be silent for the rest of the time.
The rest?
Yeah.
Well, I hope not. Because I need you guys.
Uh-oh.
We're going on a trip?
We're going to go on a trip.
What's this segment called?
12,000 years ago.
Before the Earth?
Up in the sky. We were all spirits. No. Does anybody know? I'm going to butcher this word.
Oh, please do.
Gobekli Tepe.
Yes.
Yeah?
Do you really?
Do you?
I mean, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah?
Is that pronounced correctly? Did he do that right?
I think so.
I think
yeah.
so.
Hey.
It's very close. I listened to it like 1,000 times, so I could try to get close.
Okay.
So it's this site that they found. It's dated 12,000 years ago.
They have a website that long?
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't HTTP or any
Okay,
of that.
yeah. Well, of course.
It's just a bunch of
Easy
rocks,
mind
actually.
shit.
And that's where they got the dots from. The rocks.
I like it. Continue. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No.
It was fascinating fact.
Websites are cool.
They're what?
Yeah. Good. I worked so hard on Go Beckley.
And you mess up the word good.
I forgot my transition.
This is my fault. I'm so sorry.
I was thinking like www.001.110.
You know,
like,
we can just do our classic
I was doing
rewind.
all-
We'll rewind it back for you. We can start it all over.
Please keep talking.
Well, this
We're not
is-
gonna stop laughing.
I feel bad because this is the oldest temple ever discovered, or so they think. Okay. So we're kind of laughing at holy ground right now. Just a bunch of heathens.
Please.
Poor Marcus
I've got
is
a
crying.
tear. I have a tear on my nose.
Look at Mark.
How hard I'm crying.
Yeah,
He's done.
Done.
He's out of here.
All right.
Give him some stuff. So it was this place. It's really fascinating. There's like 1,000 facts. It's hard for me to like throw everything in there because like I don't even know what order to go into. First of all, I guess we'll start off with less than 5% of this site has actually been like excavated. They know it's a lot bigger than what they have right now. The problem is when it was discovered, I think it said 1963, I believe, is when it was first seen. But all they seen was the headstone of a rock. It's kind of like Stonehenge, how everything was like buried deep. So you see like part of it, but then once you start digging, you see more and more of it. 1963, it was discovered by 2 different universities, and they kind of just wrote it off as a grave site because they thought it was headstones, marking stuff. And then 1994, this guy named Klaus Schmidt rediscovered it, and it's like, hey, let me dig around here and see what I can find. So he starts digging, and he actually finds 200 pillars of rock that have been...
Those don't sound too comfortable.
No, not at all. Try sleeping on
I'd
them.
hate to put my head on
Fred did it,
200
though.
pillars at the end of the night.
Fred and Betty
Made
did
of
it.
rock.
Barney did it. Who else did it?
Wilma.
Wilma.
Fred
Wilma
did
did
it.
it.
Yeah.
All of them did it.
Wilma!
That's a good show, just for the
Is that
record.
Fred Flintstone underwater?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Continue.
Where is Go Black? Go Black.
It was-
Where is this place again?
It's in Turkey.
Turkey. Okay.
Turkey is where it's at. One of the big problems is they don't let people go in there to dig. So it's like real difficult to get permits to go into this area, which is one reason why only 5% of it. Poor Marcus over here.
Well, you slap the table every week.
That was somebody else's turn
I
to
get
take a
so
whack at it.
passionate with it. It's the passion.
The passion of the rooster.
Passion of it. Yes. Yes. You should see my crown of thorn.
I wanna hear more
this
about
one?
this.
Is this one that has like the stones that are so perfectly?
So they're in T's. It's not perfect, obviously.
Yeah, you idiot.
The weird thing,
I've been watching too much Ancient Aliens.
He added that, obviously.
Ancient Aliens does an episode on it.
Oh, yeah.
They do.
They do
Because
episode
one of the
on a
weird
lot of
things is
stuff.
it predates. I wrote down everything that it predates. It predates writing, pottery, the wheel. What is it? Metallurgy. Like none of this stuff existed supposedly before that. Also during this time, we were supposed to be hunter-gatherers, just working in like small groups that kind of just went out. And so it's like, wait a minute, how could hunter-gatherers build this like
Civilization.
not a civilization? See, that's the next crazy thing. So there is no confirmation of like anybody living there. There's no skeletons found there. There's no tools. There's no pottery. There's nothing. So they think it's more of like a temple where people from other areas, because they've actually found other like more like livable areas where more signs of civilization, where people would have like lived like within like a 30 to 90 mile radius of it. And so they think it's like a central temple that a group of like several hunter-gatherers came together to build. But they don't know because there's there's no information on
Is
it.
that the one that they say that looks like it's supposed to, like, purposefully buried?
Yes, that is the other crazy thing. So it's sometime in history it's been purposely buried. There's evidence of like digging from other areas to bring it over to there. And it's like, why would you bury this? What civilization would bury something like this?
No.
And so that's why they think it's a temple, because like if you go to certain areas in there, typically when people like carve on rock, you carve into the rock. Mm-hmm. So this place, they actually carve it around it. So it's like a 3D image-ish. It's like, I don't know how to say it really.
Oh, okay. No, I know
It's
what
like you
you're
got
saying.
styrofoam.
They're carving an outline
Right.
of
And
of
so
like
it's
block
popping out
lettering,
of the rock
so it comes
instead
out
of being carved into the rock.
Okay, yeah.
But it's nothing but like animals that don't live in that area. So they've got like lions, snakes, spiders, scorpions. It's like stuff that like would be terrifying to go towards. Mm-hmm. And so they think it's like an omen to be like, hey, don't come here.
Yeah. A lot of
unless you
times
have
those
permission.
are warnings
Right.
for on like other travelers.
But that's all the information they have right now.
That's it.
That's it. Because only 5% of it's been dug up.
So they're thinking it goes even.
They have
deeper.
no
We're about
idea.
to roll characters and go
It's
find out
right?
Yeah.
what the hell is going on.
But yeah,
here.
This is where you find your heroes.
Nerd it through the dungeon.
Nerd
there
it
we go.
through the dungeon.
That's our
But
D&D
this-
podcast.
it predates like the oldest the oldest structure. I could be wrong. I want to say it was Stonehenge originally thought, and this predates Stonehenge by like 7,000 years. And so they're like, "Whoa, hang on."
Y'all
may
know
have
who
to
Graham
rethink-
Hancock is, right?
Who?
Graham Hancock.
Who?
No, that means
Graham
no.
Hancock.
Yeah,
No,
the Will
yeah.
Smith movie.
No.
It's Herbie.
He's a he's a guy that writes about stuff like this and how everything keeps getting older and older and
Yeah.
older and yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's crazy though. That's really all the stuff that they really have. I mean, there's other like information about like how wide the excavation sites are and stuff, but it's just like that's all the actual thought of what this place could be. But the big thing about it is it could like change our thought process about hunter gatherers and what they were capable of doing. So there's a lot more structures that could be out there.
Well, I think that a lot of our close cousins in the evolutionary branch, like Neanderthal and
Yep.
Denisovans, all
This
these
predates
I mean,
Neolithic.
There's a
we
guy out there named Dennis Ovens, and he is just going to be livid that you name dropped him on this podcast.
I'm sorry, Dennis. I'm sorry. I had
At
to.
D. Owens.
But I think that we give them a bad. I think we don't recognize them for what they probably were.
And that's what this
capable
site's
of language.
doing, though.
I mean, this didn't all come from nowhere,
Right.
We all see everything as beneath us, like we wouldn't see it as, oh no, that's not like an actual civilization.
Correct.
But they were working with what they had,
Right.
and getting by on that and creating all kinds of different tools.
Well, and I think it hasn't been too long since they've confirmed that we all kind of have Neanderthal DNA, and at some point they were interbreeding with humans.
Right.
So it's like, I mean,
Right.
I just feel like we give them the status as if they were like some sort of subhuman.
Oh yeah.
But I just think
Well,
they
we
were
do.
they were
That's
just
the
another
American way,
branch.
baby. That's the American way.
That's science, not a
Yeah, you were
But
less
to say they
than
weren't
us.
capable of language and like culture and
Oh, there's tons
architecture,
of
I
things
think
that we
is a
have
little
assumptions
crazy.
about with
Yeah,
them.
like-
Yeah.
I love that. I mean,
There
just knowing that there's somewhere that could prove like a lot of historians wrong, that like some places could have been like older than we thought.
Oh,
like the pyramids and the sphinxes. They just
For sure.
yeah.
I don't even really have much to say about that. I'm just very interested.
Oh, I love it.
in the
Like
whole
it
thing.
is.
Thank
It's a
you.
lot of fun.
We're all staring. Like, we're all staring at you.
Man.
I'm looking at you
I
through
need
the
to-
glass.
I'm just gonna consult the digital spirits.
Oh, that's exciting.
Oh.
Yes.
Do we need Google for this?
Sure, yeah. If that's how we're supposed to do it, right?
As long as
That's how
don't
you
put it
get
too
in
close
touch.
to the microphone. Okay, there we go. What's
want
up?
What do you want me to start with?
Any ideas?
Wait,
I'm going completely random.
Hold on,
today,
what?
y'all?
he's flying off the cuff.
Okay. Any ideas for dinner?
Oh gosh, we were just talking about this earlier.
It's really funny because I told him we should do some. It's
Wait,
listening.
did you Google
It's
what should we
listening.
do, and
No.
then you waited for it to
I
finish?
typed any ideas because he said any ideas.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
But what's funny is my phone was listening to us beforehand
they don't
because
do
I
that.
told him, I said, dude, you should do a topic about where we should eat because I don't know where to eat.
The digital spirits have spoken.
And now it's telling us to talk about dinner.
I I
We're
don't like
getting
to
spied
go.
on.
I don't like to go places to eat anymore.
We're getting spied
I'm
on.
sure you have a preference.
Threw it in the
Spied on.
floor.
You know, I'm sure that you have a preference. Like, if you were absolutely having to eat somewhere, where would you eat? That's a great question.
I would go back to 1990, whenever Pizza Hut used to have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, video game console
man.
sitting
That-
there. I would go back right there.
The barcade in Cookeville. That place was the greatest. I don't know why
It was
out.
awesome and the worst at the same
Yeah.
time. And I will put them on blast because they should have been better.
Their service was terrible.
It was awful.
Sorry.
The beer, I don't think the beer lines must have been cleaned very often because every time I had one beer there, I would just feel sick for the rest of the day. But it was amazing because it was just this giant area with a bunch of arcade cabinets and even some like board games in a certain area, a pinball machine.
Amazing pizza.
They
Really?
did have
I never
really good
had
pizza.
that.
They had
Oh
like
my
a
gosh.
live music area.
Oh,
Like,
they
it could have
had
been a really
a
neat
comedy.
venue. Yeah.
They had a comedy night. Gold. It was
Amateur
Cookeville
stand-up.
gold.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amateur Cookeville comedy.
Oh,
I wish I would have known about that. I would have
Me
thrown my hat in
too.
the ring on
You
that.
have no idea how great some of the people were.
wow.
Some of the people were.
You can't even. You don't even want to go back to
No.
that place.
No.
They had like Smash Brothers tournaments and
Lot
Mario
of neat
Kart
things.
tournaments. Everything.
Oh yeah, because you had all your arcade games in one section, and then you had all the console games on the other section that was separated, and you can rent out different games to play. That place should have been awesome.
Yes.
But-
Should have been.
Like there was.
But it smelled like poo.
Because there was probably, but we even went after work a few times, so like with a pretty good sized group
Yep.
of us, probably like 7 or 8
I
people.
was about to say at least 8 people, a few different
That's
ones.
a lot of money
Yeah.
for a bar, and because they wouldn't close, they weren't supposed to close until like maybe 1, and we get off around 11 or whatever. So we were going to hang out until like midnight 30, and then bounce. But we get in there and they're already cleaning everything up, and this was even before 11 o'clock, and we're like, "What are you doing? Don't you guys close at 1?" And they're like, "Oh no, we're just closing early tonight." And we were like, "We're about to fill this place up. Do you you really want to do that?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're just going to close up tonight."
Yeah.
And
A group of 8 servers coming in.
it blew my mind. Like,
Well, none of the servers ever acted like they were making tips. Like
There?
none of them
Yeah.
ever. Like I remember going in there and saying, I could probably run this by myself.
oh
Yeah.
and make some money.
absolutely. But the
when
video
people
game
used to come.
cabinets would break, like, and they would not, because they had to have known it's expensive to work on this, like to get people to work on them, because it's such a niche like area of expertise to fix them, like including. What are you doing? You
Burpee.
about to say? Oh, okay, gotcha. And like the pinball machine there, they had a Harry Potter pinball machine. That was really cool, but it was run into the ground. Like I feel like they had this great idea and did not think past. Get a building, fill it with video games, get some beer, and let's see what happens. And they didn't consider all the other. Are you still burping?
It's the Pepsi.
Are you gonna throw you Pepsi addict?
Well, it's true.
He's had 2 bottles since
He
he's been
needs
here.
he needs something to
So
eat.
if there was somewhere for me to go eat tonight, that where I would want to go, it would be the barcade, but it
You know what I want?
just doesn't exist.
Chick-fil-A.
Of course you do. It's Sunday.
I know. Every Sunday.
It's
Yeah.
true. It actually does happen.
They've done that to us.
Doesn't it sound good?
I wonder
It
how
sounds
much
delicious.
business they get Zaxby's on Sundays, because they get everybody wanting what they can't have,
But not
natural.
enough for them to open.
Not enough for them. No, not enough for them to open. But I'm
See?
saying like they get everybody wanting it, and then when they can't have it, they're like, well, the next best thing's going to be Zaxby's, which I don't know, can be superior in ways.
They're French fries.
Their French
Oh,
fries, the
the
seasoning
fries
on
are
the
good.
French
Oh
fries.
my boys.
And the
so
Zax
good.
sauce. I think
Zaxby's
that's...
is great.
Love their Wendy's
my
sauce.
Trudy
that.
told them at the drive-thru the other day that she needed 10 packs of Zax sauce because the last few times she's been there, they have underprovided her Zax sauce. She said a lot each time, and she got 2, and she was dissatisfied.
see,
she got
10?
she got a to-go container with 10 Zax sauces in it that is now at the shop in the drawer for your dipping pleasure if you take food.
You know what's funny about that? I want to say you were with me. You may not have been.
Taco
Remember-
Bell?
Taco Bell.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
the wording I used to change to see how many sauces they would give me? I would be like, yeah, I need some sauce. Yeah, give me a lot. And I just wanted to use different words just to see. And I think it was some, is they would give me a handful every time. If I said, yeah, I need some hot sauce, it'd be a handful every time. If I said a lot, 3 or 4. If I couldn't remember.
Some was the magic word.
Some was the magic word. But I tried. I did it for like 2 weeks. I just went out there and tried different words multiple times just to see what would work.
I usually use the word obscene amount. Give me an obscene amount.
How much salsa verde you got? That much?
That'll do.
Should go through McDonald's if you want to have a lot of fun and order a Coca-Cola Classic.
Wait, what?
Yeah. And then when they repeat the order and they say, and a Coke to drink, you say, no. And you repeat the entire order and you say, and a Coca-Cola Classic. And you keep doing it until they say, and a Coca-Cola Classic.
And then you can proceed. Now that you've made someone's day worse.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Everyone behind you in line. It's like, what is happening out there?
That's what we did in high school.
I'm going to make a to-go order,
worst.
and I'm going to make sure that you're giving me an entire soup bowl to go of ranch, because that's your job as my server.
Most food is just a means to consume sauce. For people who love sauces, like, it's the whole purpose of me eating anything other than the sauce. Because if I get a spoonful of barbecue sauce or ranch, I don't want it. No, it's like medicine that's
molasses.
made of bad.
You used to make me the sauce clock.
Yes, the sauce clock, where I take every available sauce that I think would maybe go good with something and put it all on a plate to where you have every imaginable option right there in front of you.
From 1 to 12.
Because I understand. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Like a Bob Ross?
I get it. I understand. People who eat a hamburger with just a meat and a bun,
Savages.
I don't trust you.
No.
I don't trust you. Where's the
no
sauce?
sustenance.
Where's the sauce?
You need some kind of sauce.
Food tastes so bad on its own. We had to
I wonder
create
if that's
sauce.
because as humans, we've evolved to like want that like simulation of blood in our mouths.
Oh, that's for me.
Like the barbaric, like bleh.
I've got a lot of cavemen still in me, because eating meat off the bone is just so much more satisfying than not.
I need to host a class on eating chicken wings.
Oh yeah, he's real good at it. He taught me.
I mean, I'd take it.
You
Pics
put it in, pull it
the
out, and it's
bone.
all gone. But yeah, there's that weird part in my brain that feels like I'm conquering the food whenever I'm eating it off the bone.
You're leveling up.
As opposed to a chicken nugget. I don't know.
Some chicken nuggets are good.
Are they?
What part
Yeah.
of the chicken
Like a
is the
Chick-fil-A.
nugget?
Chick-fil-A.
It's all the parts of the chicken you don't want to eat, and they smash it into a
Or is it the
fried
only
casing.
parts that you want?
Well, if they're in nugget form,
Right?
with
That's
some of
what
that
I'm
honey
saying.
dipping sauce.
You're saying
Just put it in a nugget form.
chicken breasts and thighs and things like that are just byproduct of what you actually want, which is the nugget?
Yes.
Have you eaten more wings or nuggets in your life?
Wings.
No.
100,000%
Wings.
wings.
You don't know how
I'm
many
a
nuggets
wing-
as a kid you ate.
I'm a wing fanatic.
Oh, I was a burger boy.
Yeah. I didn't get the nuggets. I got the burger.
I was a
made
burger-
my
I was
own
a
Big
burger
Macs.
boy?
I was a
Yes,
burger boy.
I'm a
Now,
burger
here's
boy.
the thing.
You have a thing?
McDonald's chicken nuggets with the honey.
Honey mustard?
No,
No,
honey.
He's,
From
he's
McDonald's?
calling you honey. He wants you to
No,
pay
they had
attention. He wants you to pay attention.
little
Term of
dipping,
endearment.
like where they had like the little dipping packs of stuff. They had little dipping packs of sous vide honey, and it was delicious with chicken and honey. You know what goes good together? Did you know it had it at McDonald's? You didn't.
Chicken and waffles goes good together.
Yeah, it really does.
A chicken
really
nugget is
does.
pretty much just like a chicken waffle. Is what it is. It's
You think a chicken nugget
Is like a chicken
is
waffle?
a chicken waffle?
why not?
What?
Hold on. Well, I don't know. I'm having a stall now because I'm trying to figure why not.
Because
it doesn't have the little compartments.
Where's the syrup going to get trapped in?
Yeah. How do you trap the syrup?
In the crevices of the nugget.
There aren't enough of those. If it's a true nugget, it's not.
There's no crevices.
not
Yeah,
much.
you're right. It should have a smooth
Up at
texture on the outside.
Yeah.
Somehow
A
fried
chicken
to
nugget's topography is not that.
How do they get the skin of it that's not even a skin of it to like adhere to the entire... I don't want to know.
I don't know, man.
But I'm going to have 100 of those nuggets from Burger King for $10
What?
for my wedding
They
party.
do have
What do you
those
mean?
cheap nuggets.
Wait a minute. 100
Yes,
for $10?
$10, 100 nugs.
When can you do that?
You
Oh,
need
is it a dog? Wait.
It's $1 per 10 nug.
Wow.
This is true.
We need to
That's
have a
how
whole
you know
episode
it's
of just us
quality
trying
meat.
to see how many nuggets we can eat.
I wish we could go to CiCi's.
How many nuggets can we get in our mouth at once?
I think I know my restaurant now that I've
Put it
mentioned
on the polls. Who can hold the most nuggets in their mouth? And we'll do it live.
I think that the restaurant that would appeal to me the most to go to, and this is probably just because I've been keto deprived of a lot of stuff for a long time, like CiCi's Pizza.
Every time I go to CiCi's, I feel
get
like
sick.
Oh my
the
gosh,
world
it's
is actually
garbage
an
food.
okay place.
You want to go to CiCi's?
It's garbage food, but it's delicious.
Yeah, he's keto. Remember, he's with us.
You're the only one.
If he's eating pizza, he's making it himself, and it's better.
This is true.
See?
But
You
here's
guys
the
are all keto?
Yeah.
But here's the thing about CiCi's. You can go there and get yourself a soup bowl of Alfredo sauce and dip everything in it. Like their
Everything.
cheese sticks, which are amazing.
I
Like
do
their
the
stuff-
marinara.
Oh, yeah.
And
I used to do half
Every
bowls.
piece of pizza goes in
I
there.
used to take them, like the 2 ladles with like one marinara and one Alfredo and just dump them in at the same time so they'd be side by side and in the bowl. So I'm like,
Like a Maui.
I'm paying $5.99 for the most amazing culinary experience.
And then you can take the crack brownies and dip them in that same sauce.
Oh, the crack brownies are
so
so
good.
good.
The honey buns were so good too.
Putting those with the
stick-
Alfredo.
I like the
Blow
barbecue
your mind.
pizza.
Yeah, they used to have a
And the buffalo
catchphrase
pizza.
every time they would bring out. Then
I don't think anyone noticed I was saying you should dip a brownie in Alfredo sauce. It
Nobody
was supposed to
didn't
be a
notice that.
gaff.
I
It was a
didn't.
little
No,
gaff.
that- no,
like just
no, we
something
would
that was
do
gonna be
that.
gross.
He would do
No,
it, though. That's the thing.
what's wrong with that? I love
No,
chocolate. I
there's-
love cheese.
Alfredo's not cheese. You're welcome.
I used to
I
take
love
pictures
chocolate, I love
of.
cheese. These brownies bring me to my knees.
I used to take pictures of my. At CiCi's.
He has to make sure he said the right word. That's the,
I can recognize the tile in the bathroom floor. That's from CiCi's.
I thought, I mean,
Yum yum! Come get you some barbecue pizza. Gotta have a pineapple up.
I mean,
Please.
pineapples are supposed to do that, though, right?
Take pictures of what?
I can't even say now.
He can't even say it.
We're just gonna have to go with that. We're gonna have to go with what? Oh my god!
I think that's a good stopping point.
You're welcome, everyone.
What do you think? Yeah.
Well,
Jeez.
Can you tell us how to get those pictures, though?
It's all on the cloud, baby. It's
Is
all
it
on the
on our
cloud.
Twitter page?
Just Google soft opening.
Well, speaking of Twitter page, we have one of those. It's at Nerd Grapevine. And then our website is bestfriendstinyinc.com. If you go there, it'll link you to the Spotify episodes and also our YouTube channel where these go up on now. And then we've also got Best Friends Tiny Kitchen that's on there too. And it's a lot of fun to make things and for people to enjoy them. We cried all at these
Poor Marcus.
this week and last week. We got some good tears in there.
It's because you're back.
Thank
It's
you.
because you're back that I can't hold it together.
It's because all I do is stare at Marcus the whole time.
And it really, for this entire week, I've been trying to figure out when life gives you grapes.
Drink orange juice. What's that? That was the one, right? We did it?
I guess
That's how the cookie crumbles.
And that's the bottom line.
Marcus? Still not one.
He's the mystery
I'm gonna
man.
have to- I'm gonna
giving
find my
I'm
moment of
not
true
saying
inspiration.
mine because it's got to be organic, baby. When it's coming
Oh,
off
is that
the
it?
grill. Oh, it's got to be organic, baby.
That's
That's
good.
a lot better than that hot off the grill shit.
No, you don't even know. You don't know. You specifically do not know.
He's never known.
I never knew.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we should end. Okay.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna press bye. I'm gonna press the
Press
buy
bye.
button.
Press the buy button.
I'm gonna
Just
press the
delete
buy
this
button.
one.
Don't do it.